mean, that's wrong, man. I mean, that's just like torturing someone. Yeah, I mean, going in there and hurting someone is just not fair on Davis.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis.
I got Tank by murder.
Side don't matter?
Hell no.
And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big, when for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. And now you get to see if that's real.
Boxing insiders overwhelmingly predict that Gervonta Davis will come out on top against Jake Paul. Many believe Davis's unmatched experience, skill, and ring IQ give him a clear edge, with most expecting a dominant performance. Paulie Malignaggi emphasized that regardless of Jake's size advantage, Davis's technical mastery and experience will prevail. He praised Davis's storied career, describing it as one built on years of dominance and a lasting contribution to the sport. Malignaggi urged fans not to underestimate Davis's legacy, reminding them that his achievements continue to define what elite boxing looks like at the highest level.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jim, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned, mind you?
Nakisa Bidarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions and a central figure in Jake Paul's boxing rise, made bold remarks ahead of the official Gervonta Davis vs. Jake Paul showdown. According to Bidarian, Jake's size advantage will mean little against a fighter of Davis's caliber. He clarified that this matchup wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision but something that's been in development since Jake's proposed fight with Canelo Alvarez fell through. His comments shed light on the strategic planning behind both camps, a balance between creating spectacle and preserving legacy. While critics argue that Jake's larger frame could overwhelm a smaller opponent, Bidarian completely rejects that idea. His confidence lies in Davis's rare combination of skill, speed, and knockout power, qualities he believes will neutralize any physical disparity and prove that true boxing mastery outweighs size every time.
I got to ask about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nakisa? What weight could they possibly find out? The news broke. Jake and Tank are going to happen November 14th.
Whatever weight they want, man, they're talking about it. And whatever it is, it's going to be a definitive outcome. People can talk about pro exhibition. We're going to make sure it's as real as it's real.
Why was it, just for curiosity, why is it not a professional bout and why is it an exhibition? Because I'm sure Jake would have taken the professional.
Nothing's been communicated as yet in terms of what it is, right? Similar to, if you remember, with Paul Tyson, when we announced it, we didn't have the weight. We didn't have the rules, particularly in terms of the number of rounds, the minutes, gloves. It's going to be the same thing here.
Gotcha. Can you just offer us any insight as to how these negotiations went? The reason I asked is because I remember back in March, I was at Tank's fight. And after his fight in his press conference, he was asked, next opponent. He said, well, my next opponent might have been in my locker room tonight. And people asked him, was it Jake? He made reference. He made allusion to. Has this been an ongoing thing? And has it ever, been at a point where it wasn't going to happen and came back? Or was this always the plan?
Always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once Canelo didn't happen. And to Tank's credit, he's a real bad dude. And he's been calling out Jake for 3 years. And people... It's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big, And for so long, it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. Now you get to see if that's real. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Gotcha. Knockout?
One of them.
The elephant in the room. Elephant in the room. What do you know about how this came to be? And then if you can, do you have any idea on what the weight is going to be between Jake Paul and Tank Davis, which is Jeff Mayweather?
Well, considering that I'm one of the guys on the team, you know, we always like to allow everyone in front to be able to release the information as they please.
Veteran trainer Jeff Mayweather has taken a contrasting view from Nakisa and many other analysts by backing Jake Paul. He explained that at this weight, Jake holds the advantage, having fought most of his professional bouts at cruiserweight, bringing natural size, reach, and power into the ring. Gervonta Davis, meanwhile, is moving up significantly to take this fight, leaving questions about how his frame will handle the jump. Mayweather's perspective highlights a key debate among boxing analysts. While Davis is widely recognized as one of the sport's most skilled and explosive fighters, the physical disparities in this matchup could play a decisive role.
You have weight classes for a reason. I mean, even as good as Tank is.
Probably similar to Logan and Floyd, right, if it's an exhibition. Well, I mean, the weight differences.
Weight difference is way more. Jake is over 200 pounds.
Logan was around 200 pounds. Who wins the fight, man? We ain't talking. Who wins if they have it? Come on now, answer the question.
I mean, to be honest, I would think Jake know how to fight a little bit. He should win. He's the man that's 135 pounds. He should be able to win.
Gervonta Davis stoked excitement for his upcoming bout by sharing the official promotional video on Instagram. Fans expecting a rematch with Lamont Roach were caught off guard, as many anticipated Davis would focus on settling unfinished business to solidify his legacy. Instead, Davis embraced the spectacle, leaning into the narrative of facing Jake Paul on a massive global stage. By posting the promo, he signaled that boxing isn't just about legacy fights, it's also about entertainment, marketability, and growing the sports audience. While purists may have preferred the Lamont rematch, Davis made it clear that criticism doesn't faze him. He sees Jake Paul as a legitimate opponent in the sense that the fight will attract worldwide attention, potentially making it one of the most watched events of the year.
They're trying to fight it. They were trying, or still trying, to find a common medium, which is 175, so the fight can officially be sanctioned as a real boxing match. There's no boxing commission that will sanction it because the weight is just too far apart. And Jake Paul has proven to be a true boxer. Okay? So it's considered an exhibition, which what I'm being told is going to be 10 2-minute rounds. But they wanted Jake Paul to make 175 so this can be a real boxing match and count against their record in boxing. But the fans are demanding to see him fight Lamont Roach. As I told you guys, Tank told you that he wasn't fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. He had other plans, which is Jake Paul. He told you that in the post-fight press conference after the Lamont Roach fight, right? So with that said, that fell through at the time, and he revisited, entertained the idea of fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. But he never signed the contract. He was supposed to fight June 21st. He never signed the contract. Then they're supposed to fight August 16th. He never signed the contract. And then he had the arrest. He had to get bailed out, so on and so forth. With that said, now he's broke the silence. He resurfaced on social media because he went ghost on social media. And he put up this promo, and fans are responding in a negative way. And he's responding in a negative way. He's responding right back with the same energy. And he's telling the fans, because the fans are saying, hey, the money that you reportedly making, which is, it's being said that he's going to make $40 million for this fight, according to multiple sources, Eddie Hearn and a few other people. He's supposed to make guaranteed person $40 million.
Matchroom's Frank Smith revealed that Gervonta Davis was originally scheduled for a rematch with Lamont Roach, a bout many believed would further cement his legacy. However, when the opportunity to face Jake Paul arose, plans changed dramatically. Smith explained that the financial upside and international exposure Paul brings were too significant to pass up. The shift underscores a broader trend in modern boxing, where fighters must weigh sporting merit against commercial opportunity. For Davis, choosing Paul isn't just a business decision, it's a chance to capture global attention well beyond traditional matchups. While Smith stopped short of criticizing the choice, His comments highlight how legacy-defining fights often take a backseat to high-profile crossovers that promise massive pay-per-view revenue. In this context, the Jake Paul fight represents not only a test of skill but also a strategic move to engage a worldwide fan base extending far beyond hardcore boxing circles.
And let's say you take money out of the equation, which is obviously the main factor here, but like he's in a division where he's got killers all in his division. You know, Shakur, Haney, who's 147. You know, T.O., for example, Keyshawn, and then you choose to fight someone like Paul. Surely that's a concern when you do look at it like that.
Yeah, but again, it's the world we're in. If you can get huge amount of money to fight someone who's never boxed really before, you're going to do it. You know, Floyd Mayweather boxed Logan Paul with a huge weight disparity.
He was done by then.
I know.
He was done. Like, this is an active
world
champion.
But it's the world we're in.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. You know, when it comes down to it. It's just like Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather. Two completely different sports. Was the biggest pay-per-view in recent times, wasn't it? Maybe if ever.
Yeah, those are like different comparisons, though, if you think about it. Do you not like?
Yeah, but the sport's in a wild place, isn't it? That's like I'm just like the reality of where we are, you know. And can't really say much when we're talking about Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua at the same time.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think Tank should get stripped of his title?
Yeah, I think anyone who, just in general, doesn't defend their title to do something else should get stripped because it shouldn't hold the belts up. You know, in any, like, I think that should be the reality in anything. You know, if you're not going to defend your belts or you're not defending, sometimes there's the rules, obviously, if you fight for a belt at a higher weight, you can retain the belt until there. But if you're not, don't have intention of defending the belts, you shouldn't hold the belts up. People should get the opportunity to fight for them.
What happened with the failed negotiations between AJ and Jake Paul?
I think anything's still possible. That was always discussed for next year. You know, this fight's November, early part of next year. AJ's in a great place because if anyone in the heavyweight division wants to make huge money, Anthony Joshua is the man they have to get in there with. You know.
An analyst weighed in on the backlash against Gervonta Davis for choosing to fight Jake Paul, arguing that fans often focus on trolling fighters rather than appreciating their accomplishments. Davis has spent years building his reputation through discipline, skill, and highlight reel knockouts. The analyst suggested that if Davis now opts for a high-profile, spectacle-driven fight to earn a payday, there's nothing wrong with that. This viewpoint reflects a broader frustration within boxing, where lifelong professionals often receive less recognition than crossover stars like Paul, who are frequently criticized for bypassing the traditional path. By taking on Paul, Davis not only secures a career-defining payday but also gets an opportunity to prove his dominance on a global stage and silence doubters who question his ability to perform under the brightest spotlight.
Casual, but what about the hardcore boxing fans? Won't we stand up and put some value on fighters that dares to be great, that respect the sport of boxing and not just the business of boxing? Ryan Garcia never been a champion. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia never been a champion. Makes more money than these guys, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, right? Ryan Garcia, the less accomplished fighter, was just main eventing in their last fight. Devin Haney was the co-main event, and Teofimo Lopez was playing third fiddle. Where was the hardcore boxing fans' dollars? Where was the hardcore boxing fans' appreciation? Don't blame it on Turkey. Don't blame that on the promoters. The promoters are businessmen. And it seems like the promoters already know that the hardcore boxing fans don't flip the bill. Don't get mad at Gervonta Davis for chasing the money because he understood in the sport of boxing, it's not enough to just go for the gusto. It's not lucrative to be the best, to fight to be the best. And at the end of the day, they prize fighters as well. So the hardcore boxing fans is that fault. The business happening, you know, in business, you go for your target audience. So they're going for casuals. Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis make the most money and do the less.